Today is Darren Hazelwood, of course, the CEO of Panther Metals, following an announcement from their Awkward project where they've got some core results back. Well, Darren, good to be speaking. As always, how are things?
They're very, very good, Mark. This target at Awkward has always been high on our list, and over the last few months, it's developed further.
Okay.
And we're really excited about the prospects here at Awkward.
Okay. Well, this core then, Darren, where did this come from? Because we haven't talked about drilling recently. Is this stuff that was drilled a long time ago? Did you drill it? What's the context here?
Yeah, so it's drilled by a company in about 2012, 2013.
Okay.
The core, on a site visit, we found the core basically next to a shack. And whose land it was, they were happy for us to take that core. So I got it about 2 or 3 years ago. I got it transported from the area to our warehouse in Thunder Bay, because it sits about 2.2 kilometres from the Awkward conduit target. And some of the core have been tested. They'd obviously used an XRF or similar. And to cut a long story short, we had some geologists, 3 geologists looking at this core earlier on this year. One of those was from he's an Ontario government geologist, and they found the core really interesting. And there's a lot of similarities within that core to the Lac Diels mine, which is 80 kilometres to the south of us, been producing since the 90s. It was sold for $1 billion Canadian in 2019. The remnant mag is identical to Awkward, to Lac Diels. So this has always been a very prominent target. And when they looked at this core, they realised that there were elements to the core that supported our theory about this entire area. Okay. And we agreed to send some samples off to get tested. And the results have come back, and we are absolutely delighted. You've got over 1% nickel in a place. You've got anomalous nickel pretty much across the suite. You've got a little bit of platinum palladium, which is very pleasing. And you've got to remember, this is 2.2 kilometres sort of northeast from the conduit itself. Mm-hmm. To the northwest, you've got, from the 1967, Newmont done some drilling in the area, and they reckon that there was probably 1 billion tonnes of nickel at 0.2%. Okay. In then, and but no one's ever found the feeder, and our theory has always been that the conduit is the feeder. Now, there's a lot of comparisons between this magmatic sulfide nickel system and to another area that people should have a look on Wikipedia. It's got its own Wikipedia page, and that's the Mount Keith deposit that's BHP owned in Western Australia, and that comes out at around about 0.56% nickel. Absolutely huge target, long life mine. Went on care and maintenance in 2024 due to the nickel sort of market and the oversupply from Indonesia. But the thesis on Awkward is that this system was fed from the conduit. More and more information is telling us that our theory is absolutely spot on. We obviously hit the graphite at Awkward, over 27 metres at over 2%. But you need a long life system to have created natural occurring graphite. We've always used that as one of the pathfinders. Now, when you put all the other elements together that we've uncovered and others have uncovered, this makes Awkward a super, super exciting target. And our plan here, we've had discussions with third parties, but to be honest, all of the risk reward is completely now in Panther's favour. So I've taken the view that the cost of a relatively small drill program would be such, and the upside potential is such, that we conduct that program, we kick out the people that we maybe be having discussions with, and we just get on with it ourselves, because 3 drill holes into this project and the value add is enormous here, Mark.
So that's the next step then, is to drill. You know where you're going to go? Is it going to be similar to where these cores were associated with?
No, so these cores were this is from about 2.2 kilometres away from the conduit itself. We believe the conduit is acting as a feeder zone for the entire area, and that the bottom of the conduit will be where the high grade deposit is, but you've still got mineable grade outside of this. So what we'll be doing, we'll be putting maybe 3 holes, it may be more, but I suspect 3 holes, and we will drill straight through this conduit where the sulfides should settle at the bottom of the conduit. Okay. It should be mineralized. We've got anomalous platinum palladium from the T zone, which is where we believe the conduit itself comes to surface. And we'll drill that. And that'll be a winter drill program. And the reason being is that you can get access to within about 2 kilometers of Awkward on road networks. And there's a small river in between. When in the winter, you can traverse rivers because they freeze in that area. So we'll use the river as a basically as a road access rather than the helicopter supported stuff that you'd have to do in the autumn. Yeah. No, we'll just go straight to that. We've got more than enough going on elsewhere as well, but this is a super exciting target.
But you know where that is, and you know where the conduit is, and you'd know where you're going to sink those holes, or is that being worked on?
Oh yes, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's all done. All the planning's done.
Right. Okay.
The drill contractor, we know who we'll be using with that. There's no more work to do other than get these guys
getting
inside.
It going. Okay, interesting. And just another point you mentioned there was sort of throwing out the discussions you may be having and getting on with it yourself. What did you mean by that?
Well, look, if this area now is so prospective, and I ask anybody to maybe just do a little bit of research, the kind of deals that you can do as a junior offer. You're giving away a lot of a project for a lot of unknowns. Now, we've removed a huge amount of those unknowns through the work that's taken place over the last couple of years. And basically, by removing those unknowns, we know that the risk-reward on this is on our side. We'll do a relatively inexpensive drill program, but the upside is unlimited. So we should keep that into Panther because then that enables us to structure a deal massively more beneficial. So, I would use a comparison. Think Greatland and Javieron. Discovery, then they did their big farming post-discovery. And that's exactly what an explorer should be doing. And we've got the ability to do that because of what we've got going on elsewhere within our portfolio.
Okay, good. And just finally, Darren, so Awkward is a nickel project. The graphite is there as well. I think were you going to map some graphite sites on this project as well? But really, it's nickel.
Yeah, we've got all sorts of graphite targets, but to be honest with you, the big money is going to be the nickel, PGEs, copper. Okay. That we believe is at the bottom of this conduit.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, Darren, for taking us through that RNS today. Of course, Darren Hazelwood, the CEO of Panther Metals.
Thanks, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.